Hi, welcome back. I'm Joan, founder of Joan Pauly Real Estate, and on this channel we talk about all things real estate. And one thing I've liked to do is literally walk you through the different neighborhoods, because Louisville's known as a network of neighborhoods, as I've said before. And so we're going to focus today on both Crescent Hill and Clifton. Those are two suburbs. Really, they're called inner ring suburbs because they're historical. They're very close to downtown. So the first areas are called inner ring suburbs. So it's a lovely place. I actually raised my kids in Crescent Hill, so it's got a very fond spot for me. So as usual, what we're going to do is I'll give you some map context, where exactly it is and location to everything else, and then we'll talk about the demographics, and we'll get into the fun stuff, what all you can do. As usual, there's tons of restaurants, so we'll cover a lot of those, as well as some very unique shopping opportunities. And then we'll go through schools, both public and private. And at the very end, I'll fire up my Realtor MLS system so that we can take a peek and see what's currently for sale and get an idea of some of the price points. So stay to the end, because that's the most informative part if you're looking to buy a home. So without further ado, let's get started. First up is we're going to talk about map context. Where exactly are the Crescent Hill and Clifton neighborhoods in relationship to everything else? So I'm going to turn to the map now. You can see that we've got two bubbles there, Crescent Hill and Clifton. And really, the Frankfort Avenue is what runs through the center of these two neighborhoods. And as you'll see later on in the video, we're going to cover a lot of the restaurants and the shops that are on Frankfort Avenue. I actually lived off Frankfort Avenue, so it was an amazing place to raise kids. It was walkable, rideable. Their school was across the street, so I really had a pretty Mayberry RFD existence during the years the kids were under my roof. So from a context standpoint, this is how close they are. You can go down and look at and see how close it is to the river, so that all of the things you can do at the waterfront park that we covered in one of the other videos, that's very easy to get to. And then of course it's very centrally located down to downtown Louisville, and then you have access to Cherokee Park. It's just it's a really nice area to locate because of its convenience. Now we're going to talk about demographics, and I'm going to refer to my cheat sheet here. So in Crescent Hill, the population's 5,000, so that tells you it's a little small neighborhood. 5,000. Median age is 38. As most inner ring suburbs are, the median, the housing stock is older, so the majority in Crescent Hill of the homes were built in 1939 or earlier. I lived in a house that was built in 1901, and it's pretty sweet. You have more owner-occupied than renters. The owner-occupied is 55%, renters 45%. And then in Clifton, it's even a little smaller. The population there is 3,693, let's be precise. Median age is the same as Crescent Hill, it's 38. The housing stock is the same age. Majority of it is 1939 or earlier. And then same as the Crescent Hill, Clifton also has more homeowners than renters. Own is 57% and renting is 43%. So that gives you a little taste of the demographics. Okay, now let's focus on walkability. The walk score for Crescent Hill I actually don't agree with. It says it has a walk score of 60 and that it's somewhat walkable. Let me give you some context there. It's definitely walkable to go to a bunch of restaurants and places to hang out. From where I lived in Crescent Hill, I couldn't walk to a grocery store like I could in the Highlands. But there is a grocery store in the Crescent Hill, Clifton area called Kroger. Kroger's the lower Brownsboro Road, but I never walked there. It was too far for me. Now, for me, it served my purpose for walkability because I could walk the kids to school, which was fantastic. And I walked exhaustive walks throughout the neighborhoods, so I could find my way off the main streets and get in a really nice robust run or walk when I was running. So even though it says it has a 60 walk score, you can definitely walk to get to places to feed yourself, except for a grocery store. So anyway, I mean, I can see from the walk score algorithms how they would say that, because Frankfort Avenue, which is the main artery between Crescent Hill and Clifton, is a very busy road, and they don't have it marked for biking. So they do have sidewalks, but so anyway, I personally found it very walkable, but I want to be true to the walk score, which says it's somewhat walkable. So the walk score for Clifton is better. It's 74. It says it's very walkable. That might be due to the fact that you really can in Clifton. That's closer to the Kroger, so there are a lot of places in Clifton that you can actually walk to the grocery store, and that's such a key component when they measure the walkability. So it's also on Frankfort Avenue. I hope I don't repeat myself too much there, but it's also on Frankfort Avenue. But you seem to have more of your daily need amenities that you can meet there. So Clifton has a higher walk score. Next up is what can you do for fun on Frankfort Avenue and Crescent Hill and Clifton. And the site that I'm going to point you to, which is really, really good, and I'll have it in the description, is funonfrankfurt.com. It's the official site for the Frankfort Avenue Business Association. And when I lived back there in the 90s, the Frankfort Avenue Business Association was just getting started. So it's been around since the 90s. And then the one thing I'm gonna point you to is, and I'm gonna go in here real quick, I'm sorry to look away from you, is if you go to plan your visit, an interactive map, that's going to show you all of the restaurants, the shops, everything that makes up Frankfort Avenue. So this is a really, really good resource if you are just looking for fun things to do in Frankfort, on Frankfort Avenue. One of my favorite parts of living in the Crescent Hill, Clifton area was the Crescent Hill Park. I think Crescent Hill Park. And honestly, it was like having a country club that I didn't have to pay for in my own backyard. And it was literally in my own backyard, off of Frankfort Avenue. I lived on Claremont Avenue off Frankfort. And the reason why I say it was like a country club is because with the kids, they could ride their bikes down to the end of the street. It was a dead-end street, and then the neighbors let the kids cut through the driveway, and they could then go into this park that had 77 acres. Inside that park was a public golf course, public tennis courts, and pickleball courts. Of course, back in the 90s, pickleball didn't exist, but they do now. They have the courts now. Another great amenity was what we called the bubble, and that was a indoor, huge swimming area. And for me, it was the best place in the world to be able to swim laps, and the kids could play in the pool while I was swimming. So it all public. And then also what's there is the reservoir. Louisville Water Company has a big presence in that area in terms of buildings. And the Crescent Hill Reservoir is beautiful. It's a great place to walk. So you could, you're looking at some of the pictures there now, but you could walk up the steps, and it was just a beautiful place to walk all around the water. It was where the water comes in from the Ohio River before it gets treated for our public water. So lots of beautiful sunset walks up there. So I just really appreciated that part of Louisville, which is having these great amenities for families through our public park system, and so accessible. Another really cool attraction is the American Printing House for the Blind. Was established in Louisville, Kentucky in the 1850s, which is pretty remarkable. The history behind it is 1850s, a need for books. A blind man from Mississippi convinced his state to charter a national publishing house to print books and raise letters, to be located in Louisville, Kentucky. The General Assembly of Kentucky passes an act to establish the American Printing House for the Blind, and it's been there ever since. I'm not really sure why it was established in Louisville, but one huge ancillary benefit to having it in our community in the Crescent Hill area, Clifton area, is there's special attention to getting around, transportation, walking, if you're blind. So there's lots of beeping sounds that alert people to when they can cross the street, when they can't. So it's a pretty cool claim to fame to have that in our community, and it's also very, very helpful. Another historic place is the Peterson Duminil House. I don't think I'm saying it right because it's got an S in there, but when I hear people talk about it, it's the Duminil House. So it's gorgeous too. It's got a lot of acreage around it, and it's a great community gathering space. They have every year they have 4th of July fireworks there. They have Easter egg hunts. They have Christmas events. It's just a really, really nice community house for people to gather. It also, you can get married there, or have receptions there. They do a lot of events, and it's a beautifully architecturally designed and built house from the early 1800s. So highly advise folks to go there. What's a community without a local bookstore? Carmichael's is Louisville's oldest independently owned bookstore, and they really are part of the fabric of the community in Crescent Hill and Clifton. Whenever there's any kind of famous authors that come to town, they usually will come to Carmichael's for a book signing and a talk. There's 2 locations, one in the Highlands and one here in this area. So it's a beloved local bookstore. Another park system that you can get to very easily, it's not as close as the Crescent Hill Park, but Seneca Park is another just public country club, really. It's got tennis courts, pickleball courts, walking track, golf, so it's really like the Crescent Hill Park. So it's 531 acres. So again, and you'll see this throughout all of these videos, the city of Louisville really has put an emphasis on their neighborhood park systems, and it's just a great amenity to have. It's like having a country club without having to pay for it. And of course, we have to cover food, because that's a mainstay of the Louisville communities, eating out at locally owned, locally sourced foods. You've got so many choices, and this is one of the reasons why I say the place is walkable, because you can walk on the sidewalks on Frankfort Avenue to these places. So I am going to just name them off. I'll try not to spend too much time on any one, because this is just a sampling, and the ones I'm most familiar with. So first up is Blue Dog Bakery. Now, you talk about a carb dream. I mean, their home-baked breads that are done every day they're to die for. The food is spectacular. It's a real cool vibe place, and you've got outside seating. So Blue Dog Bakery is an institution on Frankfort Avenue. And then Eggs on Frankfort, if you want to have some breakfast food. Blue Dog, I'm going back and forth, but Blue Dog does lunch and breakfast, and Eggs on Frankfort does breakfast. Then if you want to get some sushi, you can go to Osaka. I've had it. It's delicious. We've got, if you want Japanese, we have Eats Vietnamese. If you want Italian, Porcini's. I've had a lot of special occasion. I mean, that's a fun place to go to for special occasions. I don't know, it's got that kind of atmosphere where you feel like you're really treating yourself to going out to dinner at Porcini's. Then the Irish Rover, it is truly an Irish Rover because the owner is Irish. He's a character from Ireland, and truly the best Irish food I know of anywhere that I've ever had. I haven't been to Ireland, but at least in Louisville, it's the best. Then Volare is really good. The executive chef there was on a show, Chopped, and he won one of those episodes. He's been there forever. Volare, it used to be an old gas station, and it was converted into this restaurant, and it's done extremely well. It's good. One of my favorite places is J Gumbo. I remember when it opened back in the 90s. The first location was in the Crescent Hill, Clifton area. And when they say you can get, bowls as big as your head, I don't know if they say it exactly, but the servings are unbelievable, and the cost is unbelievably not expensive. So it was a really nourishing meal, and I usually got 2.5 meals out of it. So if you want some Louisiana cooking, that's a great place. And then if you want to, after you kind of sat and had some good food and you walk around the parks, a nice way to end the night or maybe start the night is a place called the Champagnery, and I've been there for a ladies' night out, and it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. So those are just some of the restaurants. Otherwise, I'd keep you here for an hour. But I just wanted to show you the various places and the variety that you can get, and all local. In terms of shopping, it's unique. It's definitely not going to the mall. It's very unique. One of my favorite places is Margaret's Consignment Store. And just for the guys out there, this isn't just for ladies. This is they have just as many consignment clothes for men as they do for women. And I love going there. It's got some really, really upscale, nice clothes. So Margaret's has been around forever. It's an institution on Frankfort Avenue. And then you've got Just Creations Fair Trade. It's also very unique. It's fair trade goods, and they have a lot to choose from. I've done a lot of my gift shopping there. I love to Christmas shop there. It's you can feel good about what you're buying because it's a fair trade products that you're selecting from. And then a huge part of the shopping is located in the more closer to Clifton. It's called the Melwood Arts Center, And they've I mean, you talk about local, that's all they focus on is local. They've got about 100, I think it says 170 artist studios that are available to rent, and then they've got lots of space there for local small businesses. So when it's buy local, it's a buy local person's dream. And it's also a great place for events. I've been to many events there. Some people get married there. I've been to lots of conferences there. So it's a real gem for the neighborhood. Let's talk about schools. And first up are going to be public schools. And the website that I use is run by Jefferson County Public Schools. It's myschoollocation.com, and I'll have that in the description. So you go to that site, and the zip code for Clifton, Crescent Hill is 40206. And once you plug that in, you're going to see a group of school options for you. And they've got multiple elementary schools located in that cluster for the area. There's Alex Kennedy Elementary, Breckenridge Franklin Elementary, Chenoweth Elementary, Field Elementary, that's where my kids went to elementary school, and St. Matthew's Elementary. Now, St. Matthew's is technically another neighborhood, but it's still close by. So you got lots of public elementary schools to choose from. And then for the middle school boundaries, you've got Westport Middle School, and the high school is Wagner High School. So you've got more elementary school options than you do middle and high school, but you've got a fair amount of options there. In terms of Catholic schools, I'll have this in the description as well, but LouisvilleCatholicSchools.com is the resource that I use. And when you plug in 40206, again, the zip code, in a 10-mile radius, there are 33 different Catholic schools to choose from. That's pretty remarkable. Now, not all of them are in your backyard for Crescent Hill and Clifton, but 33 schools within a 10-mile radius is pretty good. So I'll let you take a look at all those. You can, if Catholic schools or private schools are something that you really want to pursue for your kids, then that's a lot to choose from. I wanted to show you guys before we go into the actual property search for Clifton and Crescent Hill. This is I want to kind of give you a peek behind the curtain. This is information as a realtor that I can get to on our multiple listing service. So as you can see, it's a really pretty nicely laid out dashboard where we can look at all price ranges or go in more narrow, all property types or single family, townhouse, condo, all sizes, all bedrooms. So I'm doing the biggest search here. I don't have any really filters on it. So the entire MLS right now, what it's showing us is that the median sales price is $280,000. And I went in and I went ahead and populated it with the Clifton data. So as you can see, the Clifton area is priced, median sales prices is priced above the entire MLS. I'm not surprised at all because it's a very highly desirable area. So if I can do this right, let me see if I can get Crescent Hill in here. Let's plug that in. It's not going to show us. Let's try it again. Crescent, because I know it does it. Subdivision. Here we go. It's not really a subdivision, but that's where you're going to get your data from. So Crescent Hill, $380,000. So it's also priced above the entire MLS. So those are the median sales prices as of right now. This is looking at a 3-year trend. So just so you know, if we work together, I can access this rich data resource, looking at months of supply, so that we can, if you want to list someplace, we can see if it's a seller's market or a buyer's market. I can tell you overall, it's definitely a seller's market. So anyway, I wanted to give you just some price context that the Crescent Hill Clifton area is going to be higher than other parts of the MLS. That includes just a wide range of spaces and places. Okay, so let's go and look at some properties. So you can start by going to my website, paulyrealestate.com, and then scroll down and look at the most up-to-date listings. So now what we're going to do, in the past we've gone to communities and looked at when we've done the Highlands and some of these other places, but this time we're going to go into search. This is advanced property search. So we're going to come down and we're going to look at area, and we want Clifton. And I know it's here because I just did it. Area, oh, I'm sorry. We're going to call it subdivision. It's not really subdivision, but that's how the system likes it. So Clifton. All matching Clifton, and then Crescent Hill. All matching Crescent Hill. So we've got 8. Gosh, not very many at all. So let's go see what we got here. All right, so the first one, 3-bed, 2-bath, $369. Crescent Hill, another one for $439. 2 beds, 1.5 baths, $235. 3-bed, 2-bath, $319 in Clifton Heights. Then you got a condo. That's kind of weird. 1 bed but 2 baths. $151,900. 2 beds, 1.5 baths, 820 square feet, $184,000. Oh, it's in the historic area too, so you do have to be aware of that. There is a historic area. So let's just kind of poke at these. Let's look at a 3-bed, 2-bath that's $439, and then another one that's $319. Let's just compare those. Let's take a look. So it's a French-style country home in Crescent Hill. Now, guys, I hate to tell you, but my house in Crescent Hill was a little 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and in the early 90s I got it for $67,000. So this is really amazing. So it's real close to Sacred Heart Academy, which is one of the Catholic schools there. So let's take a look. Again, this is $439. Yeah, you get those arched doorways from yonder years. Interesting. Nice backyard. Cute. Okay. Let's go up in the bedrooms. Nice sized bedrooms. It looks like the floors are really good. They've done some nice touches, certainly. Looks like a nice house. Cute. Not bad. Okay, so that's $439. Let's look at 319. Let's see why there's a different. Well, this is Crescent Hill, this is Clifton, but it's literally just down the street. So basically the same area. 3 beds, 2 baths. It's renovated. It's got a brand new roof. So this looks like a very nice, promising for in the 300s. Let's look real quick at 319. Okay. That's nice. I know I'm blowing through them, but I always give you links. So if you want to go back afterwards and have a slower look at some of these, you certainly can. Oh, that's nice. Looks like an upstairs balcony, which can be fun. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. So let me look. This one, where was it? 1,500 square feet. So it's more square feet than the Crescent Hill and less money. So, it's great. It's awesome. But I would want to look into why. Then let's go in the 200s, and we got 2 beds, 1.5 bath. It's only 800 square feet for $235. And we'll kind of take a look at this real quick. It's got nice privacy. Yeah. Cute. So this is what in the $200,000 range is going to get you now. Pretty cool. I like that tile in the bathroom floor. Nice fenced-in yard with privacy on both sides. That's nice. So that's the $200,000 price point. And let's see. I was gonna look to see real quick to see when this came on the market, but we'll move on. All right, let's look at what a 1 bed 2 bath is. Let's see, Brownsboro Road, condo. Now, I don't know if you saw the previous part of this video about walking to Kroger, but you could do that from here. Kroger's on Lower Brownsboro Road. 1 bedroom, 2 baths, 870 square feet. Let's see. Let's just kind of take a quick peek. Now this would be a highly desirable area for short-term rental if you were looking at an investment property. However, we'd have to make sure, if you were looking at it purely as investment and never living here, we'd have to make sure you could get a conditional use permit. And there are all kinds of regulations now set up because properties were getting snatched up. So City Council made some changes to try to actually slow it down. So that's what the 151. Let's look at the this is another 820 square feet for 184. It's a home, and it's in Clifton. Let's see, that's a great price, but probably you'd have to do some updates, maybe not. I don't want to jump to conclusions. They've done some things. Looks like laminate flooring. Not a bad price for that. Especially if living in a hub, walkable restaurants, and you could conceivably be a one-car family there. So that kind of gives you the flavor in the 3, 4, 200s. Let's look at this 489. It's 2,400 square feet, a little more. It's in the historic part of Clifton. 4 beds, looks beautiful. It's been on the market for 62 days, so that would be probably a motivated seller. So let's see what we got here. Pretty beautiful doors. A lot of the original stuff is still there. It's okay. Little backyard. It's not bad if you don't want to mow grass. Okay. Yeah. Cute. It's cute. Cute house. We'd have to kind of do a little deeper dive just to figure out why it's been on the market for so long. Let's see how long this one's been on the market. The one we looked at before in the 400s, 3 bed, 2 bath. Just a couple of weeks. And then let's look at that other one. I should have done this when we were looking at it before, but I forgot. 235, let's see how long that's been on the market. 14 days. Hope I'm not making you nauseous going back and forth so fast. Okay, and the 319, how long has that been on the market? 22 days. Okay, and we're in the October time frame, just for reference. This time of year starts to slow down for real estate, but I don't know. There's so little inventory out there. I don't know that it'll get slow ever. This one has been on the market for 28 days. And one more. We'll look at one more. Just to get a feel for the amount of time things have been on the market. This one, 40 days. Interesting. Okay. So, you know, this is the kind of stuff we're gonna, if we work together, we're gonna do some broad brush looks, and then based on your interests, then we do a deeper dive. It's because it's like a puzzle. It's like, why is this price and that one that price? Let's do a little deeper dive under the hood. So anyway, not very many. It's still definitely a seller's market everywhere, I think, in the United States, but definitely here in Louisville because the inventory is still so low. So that gives you some information about the Clifton Crescent Hill properties. As you can see, there no new construction there. It's all older stuff. So anyway,
there you have it. That is Crescent Hill and Clifton in Louisville, Kentucky.
Hopefully it gave you enough information to make you at least give you some resources so you can dive in a little deeper, because I know I cover things quickly on here so that I'm not here for hours boring you to death. So if there's ever anything that you feel like I'm missing in these videos that you'd like to see, you can please leave me the comment. Leave me your comment in the comment section, because I'm here to do this for you. So if I'm not covering something you think is important, then by all means, please tell me. One thing I didn't mention in the video until we started going through the properties where I saw historic district, not all of Crescent Hill and not all of Clifton is in the historic district, but there are parts that are. So that's also something to weigh in terms of your decision making, because as many of you know, when you're in a historic district, you can't just change windows, change doors, change the front of the house. You have to go through approval. There are places that historic districts definitely are needed. And then there's other parts to it where the obstacles to homeownership can be high. So anyway, there's a gazillion things to think about when you're looking at a property, and that's why I hope to be on your team so I can help you sort through all those questions and the ups and downs. So give me subscribe, smash the like button if you really liked it. So I will see you soon. We'll be talking about St. Matthews in our next series of covering Louisville neighborhoods.